asked for sympathy. I asked for one thing: to be understood. Everything I ever did, I did so you would be proud of me. Tell me how you were proud, Shifu. Tell me. That is how I shouted when I was young. I still remember that scream. It echoes inside me, even in this silence. I was taught to be strong. I was taught to win. It was simple. Train, strike, become faster, more powerful, more precise. Outwardly, everything looked majestic. Technique, strength, mastery. Inside, there was a void that I mistook for a goal. I was told, you are the chosen one, you are worthy. I believed. I wanted to earn my teacher's approval. But the word worthy became a sword that wounded me from within. Everything I did was for one thing: to hear a single word from Shifu. Proud, not praise, not wealth, not power, his pride. I'm sure you don't understand. This was not just a need, it was the foundation of my identity. If my teacher, the one who saw potential in me, rejects me, then who am I? If he doubts, why should I believe in myself? Betrayal and downfall. I did everything to gain recognition. I achieved mastery, and then they stopped me. Not an enemy from outside, my teacher's choice. I felt betrayed, not so much because I was denied glory, but because the one who raised me turned away. Betrayal cuts deep when it comes from the one who shaped your world. When you're told you are too dangerous, it's in a way an acknowledgement that you are a weapon. But tools don't wait for kind words. Tools want to be used. I wanted to be something more. Not out of superiority, but to prove that I belong where I stand. They built a chamber, not just a prison, but a symbol of my defeat. Picture this: a steel cylinder, walls against which any exclamation of my rage could be spinned, yet not fill the void. It was built just for me. It was an admission. They acknowledge the power, but they don't trust it. They locked me up as a threat, while simultaneously admitting my might. If I'm dangerous, then I am a force. A damn paradox. They feared me enough to gift me loneliness in the shape of a luxurious cage. At the start of the prison, I was full of anger. Anger is the heat that allows you to survive. I kept telling myself, I am stubborn and prefer to reach my goal even if a beloved father stands in the way. I believed that if I became stronger, they would recognize me. As I crushed the world, they would be forced to look. I justified my actions. I told myself I was harsh, but right. I didn't understand subtleties because I was occupied with the truth of power. I saw my deeds as a path to justice, to that very recognition. Self-sufficiency and loneliness. I always preferred to work alone. Relying on yourself is convenient. It's sound logic for a warrior. But loneliness is a treacherous ally. It taught me to view the world through a narrow slit of pride. I was sure no one will help, no one will understand, so I must do it myself. That made me tougher, but it cut me off from those who might have understood me otherwise. Sarcasm, joke, my armor. When Shifu asked, I could answer with a barb, like when I said I scared Po off. But beneath the joke was a void, and no bitterness could fill it. Reflections in prison. The prison is a mirror. At first I tried to break it. My fists beat against the walls, but the steel only echoed back a sound. Then I began to listen, not to others, to myself. For the first time, I heard my own thoughts, not drowned out by the pounding of training. And there, in that silence, questions arose that I once hid from. Why do I need approval? What is worthiness without the one who recognizes it? Those questions were colder than steel. The fear of admitting weakness. To admit that you need approval is to admit weakness. And weakness is what I was condemned for. Being vulnerable was more dangerous than any training. I couldn't allow myself that. But the prison did its work. It stripped away masks. Gradually I saw my rage was not only vengeance. It was the cry of a child who didn't receive a father. Shifu didn't just reject me as a student. He rejected the image of who I wanted to be in his eyes. Understanding the teaching and the secret of the scroll. I was always told about the secret of the scroll as if it were a treasure that grants true perfection. I didn't understand it at the time. I thought the secret was technique, power, a path to glory. But in prison, I began to repeat to myself, he is rough and doesn't understand subtler notions because he didn't grasp the secret of the scroll. I realized that strength without wisdom is like a flame without fire, bright but destructive. The secret is not in the movement, but in the state. It doesn't open through fists. It opens through the recognition of one's own limits. It was bitter. I understood it too late. How did he come into my story? He was the worst, not me. Uneducated, ridiculous, clumsy. But he laughed. And that laughter, like shackles, like a medicine, it did not suppress strength. It grew it differently. I saw in him what I did not see in myself, a lightness of being. He did not try to prove to the world that he was worthy. The world accepted him precisely as he was. It hurts to realize. I wanted my strength to be recognized, and he was recognized for his heart. The contrast broke me. Regret is a quiet thing. It is not loud like anger, but it is deeper. I think about the moments when I could have asked, when I could have stopped, when I could have accepted the word no as a test rather than a sentence. I remember Shifu not only as a judge, but as a person that I wanted to make proud. And in that memory, there is not only anger, but love. Strange, twisted, but still a student's love for a teacher. A love that turned to rage when it was rejected. Prison taught me to look my reflection in the eye and tell the truth. I realized that strength by itself means nothing if it serves only as a reproach. I understood that the path is not a series of victories, but the ability to understand why you win. If the goal is to prove something to others about yourself, then you walk a shaky bridge that can easily collapse. True dignity, it is inside, and it is not given, it is forged. It is a simple, terrifying thought. Perhaps I sought outside what I should have grown within. What I would like to say to Shifu and Po. If I could speak to Shifu now, I would not shout. I would say I wanted to be your child. I wanted you to deem me worthy, and maybe I would ask forgiveness, not for what happened, but for not being able to explain myself otherwise. Po, I would say, you you show the world another way. It is so simple and so difficult to be yourself. Thank you and forgive me, but these words sometimes come too late, and yet in this silence I allow myself to utter them aloud. I remain Tai Lung, strong, proud, stubborn. But in this strength there is now a scar that reminds me. Strength without wisdom is only destruction. I have learned the price of recognition, and now I know that worthiness is not asked of others. It grows. And this knowledge is my only freedom within walls made only for me.